The Odyssey. Bum ba ba ba. Anyway, let's get this started. We're talking about books 1 to 12. Let's get this started. I'm not even going to summarize this since you can just watch all the other videos about it. And I'm just going to start by saying that books 1 to 12 has been rough. It's been a while since we talked about it. And all it says is from the past and the future and the present all mixed together. So it's all kind of confusing to me. So I have to take off the sweater. This jacket, actually, to be honest. And I'll just tell you guys something that I even haven't known until now. Okay, let's have the penguin with us. And one thing about the Odyssey is that it has so much things in common with the Iliad. It is the sequel for the Iliad anyway, so it's obvious that it has references to the Iliad itself. It talks about the Trojan horse too, which is not mentioned in the Iliad at all. But then again, I actually enjoyed reading about the Trojan horse, because I really wanted to hear the actual words for it. And eventually, after talking about the Trojan horse and getting to know more about it, more epic things happened. And all I can say about that is that it's just one of the greatest things ever. The Odyssey is like Odysseus having to do things. Odysseus is stranded because of his idiot crew. And then again, because of this idiot crew, all of this story happens. If it wasn't for his pride and idiot crew, then the story would never have happened and do more things than ever. It would have drove the plot on. Another thing about this is that the thing about books 1 to 12 is that it's like a literary critique. It's like something that you can never see and something that only special people can say. But then again, everyone can be arguably said to be a special person, except those who say that they aren't special, or like the normal kids. I'm probably not normal myself. I actually like a lot of things, and then again, I also like to do a lot of things too. I don't usually get high grades, but sometimes I do, and then again, there's so much that happens through it. And our past few 1 to 12 books, we discovered and explored a lot. And all I can say right now is that the Odyssey is no exception. One thing I can describe in it is that it's awesome. It has the plot of a good, gracious person, and Odysseus has a hero. Odysseus is a hero, and back then, being heroic doesn't mean that you're a hero. It means to be a hero is to be the plot or the protagonist of a person, of those plot, and to do a lot of things too. It means to be great, even though if you do things that are considered today not so great. And that's all I'm gonna say. Another thing about the Odyssey is that there are multiple references and themes that it could even point and hit on. One of the things about the Odyssey are like that dress. No, not that dress that's that death shroud or something. That suit that Odysseus' wife Penelope is making for Odysseus' father when he's dead is one of the things that keeps her hope faithful. She always undoes it, her work at midnight, just to show that she's still loyal and hopes that Odysseus will come home. She eventually does a lot of things too, and eventually we even see some things too. It's greed that drives this thing. Also, your pride. If your pride is injured, you want to do something to get revenge, right? Well, that's Odysseus. Basically, Odysseus. One thing I can say about Odysseus is that he's definitely a hero. That he does a lot of things that is kind of weird, too. But then again, you have to do all this for Greece. The Odyssey is a mixture of Greek literature, Greek mythology, legends, and sometimes a bit of fact mixed into it. That doesn't necessarily mean Odysseus, Circe, and his crew were real people, of course. Ithaca probably does exist. It's just that this is a truth with a lot of hints of fiction pasted into it. Those herbs that Circe gives, those herbs are described so carefully, and eventually some scientists found a herb that was at least described, that looked exactly as the ones that was described in the Odyssey. It's weird. Homer could have never even ever described all this unless it was oral tradition. It was said that he was blind. How could he do all this? I'm not even sure myself. Maybe Homer doesn't exist. Maybe it's just like a bunch of different authors, like how a bunch of different authors turn out to be Aaron Hunter. All I can say right now is that Odysseus can do things that none other person can do. He's challenged other people. I mean, he was the one who gouged the Cyclops' eye, but then again made the Cyclops curse him and his crew, which made them have a lot of bad luck. And Poseidon also made them have a grudge on Poseidon. He was also the one which made the other people, the Phoenicians, to undo their hospitality, their methods and ways of hospitality, because they're scared that, well, that they'd be punished if they do all this. And lots more things happen. So what can I say about book 1 to 12 is that it's just the beginning. There's more to it, and we're still in the rising action. We're not at the end. We're not at the climax yet. And all I can say is that the climax will happen at the very end. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this special episode of Hunter and Sean. And if you guys did enjoy this episode, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Schnan out and peace! Oh yeah, funky, 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 funky.